Good morning. Good morning, everybody. Good morning. All right, we have sound, so that's a good thing. Welcome back. Well, either welcome back from last night or welcome back from last week. It's good to be back. Good morning, everybody. Get my chair situated here. There are so many wires going across this table. I have too much because my big computer is still in for service, being repaired or fixed or whatever. Hopefully it's back soon. So I started on one laptop this morning and then realized that everything that I needed in terms of programs was not on that laptop. So then I went and got another laptop, which meant I needed to get cords and USB ports and all sorts of things because the laptop I'm using only has one USB port. So that doesn't really help much. So cords everywhere. That's okay. We're going to hope that I can function with this computer. So bear with me this morning if things don't work as well. So this morning we are going to cover embroidery design transfer, and not just so much transferring, but also talking about how to download designs, where they go on your computer, where they go, how to get them to a USB stick or from a CD-ROM, what files do you need, what don't you need, and things along that line. So I want to kind of cover, this is probably my biggest question and help that most people need is getting a design from point A to point B. And so I thought I would cover that topic. I'm going to show you how to download designs from 2 different websites here so that you can kind of see the difference between all of them. Good morning, everybody. Oh, I'm glad you enjoyed last night, Miss Denise. Thank you so much. It was a giggly, to say the least. So, all right. So let's get started here. I'm going to jump right in. I got lots and lots to cover. So designs, okay, where do they come from? Where do I get more? Beyond just the designs that come built into your machine, you can get individual designs as well as design collections. Ooh, there is a very big typo right there. That should be the word several. Can be purchased from several different places and come in different types of media. And so you can digitally download designs, you can buy designs on USB collections, and you can buy designs on CD collections, okay? And so I just kind of want to cover what is the difference between them and that type of thing. So digitally downloaded designs means that you go to a website on the internet, you find the design that you want, you purchase it, and they usually download it to your account. It will live in your account on that website for the most part, infinitely. You usually may sometimes have to, depending upon the site, download or purchase a specific size or purchase a specific format for your machine. Okay, so not everybody does it the same. So some places you get all formats, some places you get all sizes, and some places are very specific as to what you get for what you're paying for. Now, just a note, if you own Bernina embroidery software, or really if you own Bernina in general, I honestly recommend downloading the .art format. Okay, the ART format is the computer format. It is the format of the design that your computer reads, not your sewing machine, but your computer. Okay, and or Windows or Mac, that type of thing. It's that type of file. .art cannot be read in the sewing machine unless you have an older Bernina 200 or a Bernina 730. Okay, those are the only machines that really read art. And honestly, those machines also will read EXP, and EXP is a faster loading file, so I would use that. The reason I say that is art is the purest form of that embroidery design. So if you wanted to make changes to size and things along that lines, you're better to do that in art because the art object is object-based, okay? When you start getting into other formats like Jeff, XXX, SEW, PES, EXP, all that other thing, they become what we call stitch-based files. And that means that it literally is focused on each individual stitch versus the shape of the actual object. And when you start messing with stitch-based objects or stitch-based files in terms of making them bigger and smaller, you can really get some very unpleasant results in terms of holes in your stitching, fills disappear, things along that line. So I recommend downloading art, and we're going to talk about a program that you can use to convert to EXP, and I'm going to show you how easy it is. It is one extra step, but it's just, I prefer it. That's the way I do it. You can also get designs on USBs. We don't do as much on USB here in the store, and I'll talk about why in a minute, but they are convenient. You can take them right out, plug them into the side of your machine, and up pops the designs, okay? Most of the time. Some machines, there's some quirks with USB sticks, which is kind of why we don't rely too heavily on them. There are still designs on the there is still information on the USB that you will want to get by plugging it into your computer. Thread charts, instructions, things along that lines that can only be accessed on your computer. Your sewing machine is not going to let you pull that up and view it from your sewing machine. You always want to back up a USB stick. So you have a USB, and USBs have a tendency to just fail. They just die, okay? Out of nowhere, you can be, you plugged it in, you used it, you unplugged it, you plugged it back in 2 minutes later, and it doesn't respond, and it quit on you. And so you always want to back up your design collections that come on USBs, just so if it does decide to fail, you step on it, you leave it inside of your machine, and then proceed to put your machine down in the cabinet and knock that USB kind of cockeyed. So you just want to have it backed up so that you don't lose designs or things along that lines. CDs, just like USBs, all the designs are there. You just have to take that step of being able to transfer it from the CD on your computer directly to the USB stick, or you can send it directly to the machine in a few steps. Now, this is always harder, and it's not the best result because today a lot of laptops and things don't come with CD-ROMs, okay? You can get a very inexpensive USB plug-in CD-ROM, an external CD-ROM that you can pop to the side of your computer and use that for that purpose. We use Bernina Embroidery Software, Toolbox, or ArtLink, which is the free option to be able to open those art files and convert them to other formats. And so that's why I just like CDs. They're physical in their hand. It's pretty hard for a CD to fail unless you step on it, the dog chews it, or something along that line. So to me, they're just a little bit more reliable in that aspect. So on designs, you will probably see a plethora of format options that are out there. Every brand has their format that their machine particularly reads. And so here's just a little list of those formats and who reads what. But just to note that the Bernina 5 series, which is what we call the violet series. Those are the ones with the big jumbo black bobbins. Okay, those are the ones that have 535, 570, 590. All the 7 series and the 8 series machines can read every machine format with the exception of .art, because remember, ART is a Windows computer-based format. So your sewing machines don't have Windows in them, so that's why the art won't open. But if you've ever popped in that USB stick and you have like 6 copies of one design, that's because you're seeing the design in each of those format extensions. Does not matter which one you pick and choose, but I would not do any additional editing to those designs, especially making them bigger or smaller, greater than 20%. Okay, if you need to be bigger than 20% in a design or smaller than 20%, I really suggest you go back and get the art format, and let's get some embroidery software so that we can recalculate stitching and make that stitch out much better. So my newer Berninas, don't be panicked when you plug that stick in and there's like 8 copies of one design file. Just pick one. It's okay. So I just want to talk a little bit about the EXP format. Okay, there's EXP and there's what we call EXP Plus. Okay, EXP Plus is when you see on a stick, you will see the file extension 3 times, and after each one there will be, let me move my head here. Oops, let's go back. One second, let me get me out of the way. So you will see on the USB stick or anything along that lines the file name, and then you'll have a copy of that file that has .bmp after it, a same file with .exp, and a same file with .inf. Those are considered EXP Plus files because not only does it contain the EXP, which has all of the design stitching information. That's what tells your machine to put a stitch and where to put it, okay? But it has the thread color information. This is the information that tells the machine to show you this color is the next color stop in terms of put in Isocord 1902, and it shows it to you in that red color. And then there is the file extension that has .bmp after it, and that is the thumbnail image that the sewing machine uses to show you what the design looks like in those colors and things along that lines. So if you copy all 3 files, okay, and put them to the machine or the USB stick, this is what's going to guarantee that your machine is going to show you the right color information for that design, and so on and so forth. You don't have to bring all 3 of them. You can just grab the EXP format and bring just the EXP format, but note that only the stitch information will be there. You'll get a graphic image there, but it will not be in the right thread colors, okay? Your thread color information will come up, and underneath the machine will read like default, very much like what you're seeing here on this image. So you can see these are all showing in and showing up as a default thread color. So you would definitely want to make sure that you are following your thread charts that are in the printed information for the design collection, and so on and so forth. So you don't have to have all 3 of those files, but the EXP is the most required. Not everybody does EXP Plus. Now, Embroidery Online, which is OESD, and Scissor Tail Stitches, which is also another division of OESD, you get EXP Plus, okay? Kimberbell, Pickle Pie, things along those lines, you're just getting EXP, and most other digitizers, okay, are going to be able to give you EXP, standard EXP format. It's not a big deal. That's why they also give you that PDF file with what thread color goes with what color stop. But if that's a lot of times why things don't show up in the color that you want. Now, Kimberbell, for example, a lot of times do come up in this default color chart because they don't assign a specific color, because a lot of the designs that they do are applique. Why are they going to tell you to use a blue cover stitch just because the example they're showing you or the finished design they're showing you use blue fabric? Maybe you're going to make it with red fabric. And so they just do the default color palette so that you can put in the appropriately matching colors for the threads that you are going to, for the fabrics that you're going to applique with. And that's the thought process behind most of other digitizers, is that you're going to make these your colors. And so they're not going to specifically always tell you exactly what it is on this color package because, you know, we've stitched it 10 times with 10 different color families and that type of thing. So you have to use a little bit of imagination. Now, let's look at how to download designs, okay? I'm going to show you a couple of things. I'm going to show you downloading from Embroidery Online or Scissortail Stitches. They both use the same platform. So it is, they're the same. I'm just going to show you on one site. It doesn't have to, it's going to be the same on the other. And then I'm going to show you AccuQuilt. I had a request for how do I find the embroidery designs and how do I download those embroidery designs from AccuQuilt that coordinate with my dies. And so I'm going to show you how to do that on the AccuQuilt website as well this morning. So let's take a look at that. Okay, 1 second. It will pop up here. Give me 1 minute. I'm back. Let me just see. I told you things are not going to cooperate for me. There we go. And let's turn that on. All right. So, just as a reminder on how to get to OESD or Scissortail Stitches, you will be able to go to our website, thematerialgirlsquilts.com. You can, 1 second, let me get that up. You can scroll down. You can wait for these little guys, these little slides to pop up, and then you can click on them. And that will take you to that particular website. So this takes you to Scissortail. The other slide will take you to OESD site. And so I just want to, let's look at a design, okay? In OESD, let's pick a design collection. Any design collection we got here. Okay. So we have the ability with OESD, Scissortail, and other sites to be able to buy designs either individually or full collections, okay? So, for example, this collection here, Planted with Love, you can buy the full collection for $34.99. You can buy it as a physical media, which would... the price usually goes up with physical media, okay, to $39.99, or you can do it as an instant download for $34.99, okay? You can also buy the designs individually. If you didn't want all 15 designs and you just wanted one of them, you could buy just one of those designs, okay? Now, I'm going to buy the full collection. Okay, so I'm going to come up and I'm going to add it to my cart. Okay, and then we're going to go check out. Walk through the summary of checking things out, things along that lines, and then once you have finished checking out, the designs go to your download folder. You usually get a link that also shows up as soon as you hit pay. It says click here to go to your downloads. And if you're logged in, up here at the very top, you see above the shopping cart an option that says My Designs. Okay. And this is going to take you to your design account. Okay. All of these designs are things that have been purchased inside of your account. If they don't show up right away, just give it a few minutes. You can search your downloads. Okay, for the design collection and everything. No, Miss Dana, that's fine. As long as it has us listed as your store, that is just fine. And you can go through and let's just look at designs here. Let me go back up. We'll go to this little border. Okay. This freestanding lace spider right here goes to show you that this is the design number, this is where the collection comes from, and in the drop down you have the ability to download all of these formats. Okay, so if you leave all available formats in this box and then click the word download, every format that's in this list will download inside of a zipped folder. Okay, if you know that you only need one format, you can choose just the one format. And you're going to see here, look, there's bitmap, there's the EXP, and there's the INF. So if you do want all three, you do want the EXP Plus, then you would download all three of those files and then put them to the same USB stick. Now, this design at the moment, I know it's literally one color. I don't really need all three. I'm just going to say EXP. Okay? And then I'm going to hit the word download. Okay? It is going to download that to, if you're on a current version of Windows, it's going to download it to your downloads folder. Now, again, I apologize for my Mac users. I don't have a Mac. But it does download to that one particular, and then you can use your Finder to locate it. You'll also notice that you have a box over there to the right of downloads that says sewing information. And if you click on that, that is going to open up, or it's going to download the PDF for the sewing information. And so I'll show you that here in a little bit, but I want to show you how to find that. So let me get my other window open here. One second. All right. Let's look at where it went and how to get it. Thank you, Miss Dana. So in our File Explorer here, I'm going to navigate to my Downloads folder. So over on the left-hand side of the File Explorer window, we have the link tree or the library tree that kind of gives you all your folders. If I click Downloads, there is my design here, my 12513-29 EXP format, and it's zipped. Okay, so if I click on that just once to highlight it, I'm going to get the option up at the top to do what we call extract. That's going to allow us to unzip this folder. Okay, so we're going to unzip this folder. So I'm going to click the word extract, and then I'm going to click extract all. I'm just going to keep everything exactly like it is, and I'm going to click on the word extract. Okay, and you will see that once you work through everything, I don't know if we're going to see if the system may not show this secondary window, but there's a pop-up box that pops up, shows the information. Just click the word extract in the bottom corner, and you will find back in that downloads folder, you have the same file, but it is not zipped. Okay, it's not compressed. So it's open, and software will now be able to see it and use it. Okay, if a file is zipped, if you moved this file to a USB stick while it was zipped, your sewing machine won't see it. If you're trying to find a file inside of a zipped folder from inside of embroidery software, you're not going to find it. Okay, so a zipped file, it's compressed. It's not letting anything see inside of it until you extract it and then open it up for all to see. Okay, so that's given us our zipped. If I double click and go in there, you will see that I do actually have all three formats, or the EXP Plus, just by downloading EXP. Okay. So what I would do here is, typically in your File Explorer over here on the right, if you have a USB stick plugged in, okay, it will show up here on, I'm going to minimize some stuff, over here on the left. And you can see I have a USB drive plugged into this. I need to get these three folders, these three files from here to here, okay? Because right now, these three folders are living inside the PC. I need them to go, I need a copy of them to be over here under the USB drive, okay? So I can select them all. So I can come up and I can put little dots, click next to each file. I can use Control A, which will select everything. So if I click Control A, everything will select and highlight for me. And then here's a couple of things that you can do. You can copy them, click on the USB drive, and then click paste. You can come over to the system and you can choose the option to copy to. And when copy to drops down, the dialog drops down and asks you where do you want to copy it to, you would click USB and they pop right over. Okay. And then you could left click, hold down your left click and drag it across and highlight on top of the USB drive. Okay. And when I let go, the system will copy those three files to my USB stick. So if I were to click on my USB stick now, you will see here are the three spider files that we just copy and pasted over, okay, to the USB stick. Make sense? Copy and paste, copy and paste. It can be hard to learn, hard to do, but it will get easier the more you do it. I have faith that you can do it. All right. Let's get the PowerPoint back here. All right. So that is how you would find it, okay, how you would copy it to a USB stick, things along that lines. Let's take a look at AccuQuilt for a moment, just so I can make sure that we have come on, computer, you can do it. Like I said, the problem is there's the PowerPoint. I swear, it's not meant to be. Oh my goodness. I should have just stayed over on the website. That's okay. Give me 1 second. We will fix it. I will win the battle. I promise. There we go. Told you I'd win the battle. So AccuQuilt. Okay, so even inside of AccuQuilt, you will have an account that you need to have with them in order to put things into the downloads folder. Okay, so again, as you add things to downloads and things like that, you will have an account there that you can use and go back and download them however you need. With AccuQuilt, you can either go directly to the die that you are looking for the embroidery designs to, and they will link you, or you can go to Embroidery and go to Go Dies Embroidery, and that will bring you to the section that has all of them there. Now, some of them do cost money, okay, and those are usually more detailed embroidery, things along that lines, but there are ones that are free. Okay, so let's look at the dinosaurs. With the dinosaurs, you can, once you find the file that you want, you can hit add to downloads. Okay. And it will put it into your, yes, that is me. Sign in. Okay. And puts it into your downloads. And then you have the option, once you click add downloads, to download the pattern. You can also go back into your account and go to your account settings and download them there again. But if you need them right now, I would just click download pattern, and it again is going to download a zipped file for you to use here. Okay, so give me 1 second. Again, if we navigate to the downloads folder, you will see that now we have a zipped file in there that says dinosaur medley. You can click on that, click extract it out so that I have an unzipped folder. So here's my unzipped folder for my dinosaurs. And if I click inside of that, you can see that they have broken down all of the formats for you. And then you just need the EXP portion. And you'll notice that in here, you only get the EXP. That is not an EXP plus file. It's fine. There are multiple cover stitches from AccuQuilt. You get every design comes with either a blanket stitch, a satin stitch, or a decorative stitch. So that's why every dinosaur is in here with multiple cover stitches. Okay, so that kind of gives you an idea where to find that information for AccuQuilt. Okay, now, if you have a question, please ask. I tried to work through this last night and flow through it a little bit to try to make sure that it made sense. So again, in the question of where did it go, typically the computers today are going to download things all into one folder. That's going to help you know where to find it. Okay, usually it's in a downloads folder somewhere on your computer. You also want to back up things that are stored on your computer, because one day your computer can just crap out on you. And so you want to make sure that you back up your designs to external hard drive or to a cloud-based service like Dropbox, Google Drive, OneDrive, that type of thing. So that, yes, you do have them on CDs and you do have them in those other accounts, the individual company accounts, but sometimes you've created things or done things that you don't have copies of. And so you want to back them up. Again, backing up your flash drives and things like that. Most digital companies are going to allow you to re-download designs at any time, but you want to pay attention to their rules, because some of them will let you can download them 100 times. Some of them are only going to give you 3, 4, 5 downloads. So that's why it's important to also back them up, especially for those companies that limit your number of downloads. So just make sure that you're just not willy-nilly downloading and then you don't ever get to download again that particular file, especially when you really need it. But OESD and scissor tail stitches, they don't limit the number of times that you can download it. So that's nice. And yes, I will. Miss Julia asked, do you rename files as you download? I don't. I will download it just like it is. I will unzip it with the name that it is, and then I will rename the unzipped folder so that I know what's inside. So like that dinosaur, I would rename it AccuQuilt dinosaur, and then I would probably put the information, the die number information on it. So yes, I will rename, especially if the download names have nothing to do with what's actually on the inside. I will make sure that it includes the company that it was from, maybe some design information and design transfer information, that type of thing, to help. And I have a few organizing tips for you in here as well. So we talked once already about transferring to a USB stick through copy and paste, but I want to go over a few things, okay? Some machines, as in sewing machines, embroidery machines, are going to have restrictions on file names. Okay, so they're going to have names. They're not going to, the machine won't read the name if it contains like a special character or things along that line. So you want to be cautious at being overly descriptive with a name. Too many characters, special things. So if you're having an issue, you know that you've sent the design to your USB stick in the right format and it's still not showing on your machine. You may want to go and change the file name to maybe something less detailed to see if that will help. Okay. Some machines are going to have limitation on types and sizes of USB sticks. Not all USB sticks are created equal, and not all machines are going to like all USB sticks. Okay, so you don't want to go buy 1,000 USB sticks unless you know your machine likes it. Okay. In general, the smaller the USB stick, the better, and the least sophisticated the USB stick, the better. Your sewing machine is not going to allow the installation of some backup utility, some driver utility, some other program. It's just not going to do it. So you need inexpensive, non-fancy USB sticks. Okay, 4 gig and smaller is better. 8 gig and larger will work, but they can be a little more finicky the larger the USB stick. Some machines require a special chip on the USB stick. Now the Berninas do not. And if you find ones that work, hang on to them. Okay. And like I've said before, USB sticks will just fail. They'll just stop working. There's no warning. It's just dead. So remember, that USB stick is just a portal for transporting designs from point A to point B. They are not meant to hold on to very important documents or long-term storage unless they are backed up in other places. Okay. If you are transferring designs on a Mac, okay, sometimes the Mac will throw in a couple of extra files that, and they're not design files, but there'll be a couple of extra things that show up on your USB stick. Just ignore them. That's an Apple thing. Okay. So we talked about using the File Explorer box to locate your file, find your format, copy, and then paste it to the USB. A few tips on a USB. Remove anything that's not needed, okay? Because if you don't need all 15 formats, get rid of them, okay? It's only going to slow things down because your computer or your sewing machine needs to generate a picture or a preview for everything. So if you don't need them, get rid of them. Use folders to help organize your stick, okay? So on your USB sticks, you can add folders, and you can, put all your Kimberbell or design collection in one particular folder. That will also help speed up the process of when you plug a USB stick in to the machine responding, because it's easier to respond with just showing you pictures of folders than trying to generate graphic images for the 900 designs you have on that USB stick, okay? And as a cautionary tale, you always want to eject the USB stick before removing it from your computer, okay? On the sewing machine, I typically, just as a cautionary step, is I do, before I remove the USB stick from the machine, I back out of it so that I'm not looking at a design on the USB stick, if that makes sense. I go all the way out, or I turn the machine off if I'm done. I don't pop the USB stick out in the middle of embroidering a design that's stored on the USB stick. The designs are temporarily moved when you're embroidering with a design on a USB stick. The designs are moved to a temporary folder on the machine, so you could remove them, but for me, don't take it out if your machine's looking at it. It's like ripping a book out of somebody's hand in mid-chapter. So let's talk about, I'm gonna walk you through actually transferring a design through embroidery software, okay? Just so that you can see. Now, we have a couple of versions of embroidery software. We have ArtLink. ArtLink is the free software that Bernina gives you to download, that allows you to open files, make them bigger, smaller, rotate, mirror image, print templates, things like that. You can only open one design at a time. You don't have the ability to combine designs and things like that, but for the ability to print templates and to change colors and to convert designs, it's wonderful. Then there's Toolbox, Bernina Toolbox, which also the editing portion is going to allow you to open designs, convert, and as well as do some minor editing. And then we have Bernina Embroidery Software version 8, which is what you're looking at here. 8 and 8 and ArtLink work the same in terms of exporting a design. Okay, so the steps I'm going to work through here is what works on whether you are functioning in ArtLink or in Bernina 8, and it's pretty much the same if we did this with Toolbox. So I'm going to go find me an art file here. Okay, so this is a .art file. So if I took this file right now and went to the sewing machine, my machine would not read it. Okay, so I need to write to the machine this file. So on the machine, on the software, there is a little sewing machine up at the top. If you hover over it, it says write to card/machine. You can also find it under File and there is write to card/machine. Now I'm not 100% sure it's going to show this pop-up dialog box. The program is a little, it's got so many dialog boxes, the streaming software doesn't always see them. So let me go back to the PowerPoint here so that you can see what pops up. What's going to pop up is this box that you see here on the right-hand side. And you have 6 options that are going to pop up inside that box. And those 6 options are 6 ways that we can get the design to the machine. Okay. First up is EXP. And so you would have your USB stick plugged into your machine, into your computer. Click on the EXP USB stick there. It's going to come up with one dialog box asking you to choose the USB stick if you have more than one USB stick plugged in. If you only have one USB stick plugged into your computer, then that's where the design will automatically be sent to. Okay. Now, if you have a Bernina and you have the USB cable attached to the machine, you can send it to the machine directly to the machine for stitching. You can send it to the saved folder to stitch later. This option here is for my deco design, deco machine users, because it's going to put it inside of the special EMBF5 folder. The serial port that you see here is for older Berninas that use the serial port, so my 180s, 165s, 185s. And then ART is for my 200 and 730 owners. That is what will you use if you want to send to the stick in art. Okay, so only those with 730s and 200s can use the .art. Okay. So once the design has been sent to the USB stick, let me pull that up. Okay, you would take the USB stick, plug it into the side of your sewing machine, come up to the top, choose the USB stick, and if you have folders will be there, and if you didn't put the design inside of, you didn't copy and paste the design to a folder, it will show outside of it. And if you want things that are in folders, you just touch the folder, and up will come the files that we need, okay, to be able to use for our project, okay? And again, remember, on your USBs or downloadable is going to be your sewing information that contains the thread charts. Those charts will include the design image, the size, stitch counts, the color information, any patterns or instructions that are needed for this project and or needed for these designs. Some of the design collections have projects with them. Not all of them do, but if it's like a freestanding lace project, all the instructions for assembly are on that PDF file, okay, that would download with the particular design collection, and any additional notes that are needed. Now, again, remember, the link, all of these items on this screen here are links, and the PDF the PDF of this presentation can be found on our website. So let me go back there so that you can see it. Just as a reminder, you can go to our website, materialgirlsquilt.com. You can click on YouTube and move down here, and embroidery design transfer is the topic. If you click on presentation, up will pop the PDF format of this presentation, and all of these are now links. And so if you are interested in ArtLink software. If you click this link, it will take you to the Bernina site where that particular item is, and you can download, okay, what you need. Okay. It does say free trial on ArtLink, but it's not a trial. It's actually free all the time. Okay. You have also, let me go to page 17. Okay. There's a 30-day free trial of Toolbox. There is a 30-day free trial of version 8 embroidery software, which it does way more than just convert designs. Okay. There is a workbook here on how to transfer USB. There's a, not a workbook, but a blog post presentation from We All Sew that walks you through the exact steps that I just did on the transferring a design to a USB stick. Okay, so that's all there for you to be able to use. There is also a ArtLink Basics workbook. And so if you have questions about how to use ArtLink or things like that, that workbook is going to be your friend for that purpose. All right. Any other questions? I will happily answer here for anybody this morning. I hope that those that have been struggling to get your designs from point A to point B that may find this a little helpful. I found it very helpful, not a little helpful. And if you're still struggling, come see me. Okay, if you have a laptop, bring your laptop, and we will sit and walk through the steps for your laptop. It's hard to, depending on what version of Windows you're on, or if you're on a Mac or anything like that, if you're on Windows 10, Windows 7, the screens can differ. So it is could be a little different. So I will gladly walk through the steps with you that are specific to your machine, your computer. What's included in Toolbox? So Toolbox is a modular software. And so with Toolbox, there are 4 parts to Toolbox that you can purchase individual pieces. So if you just need software to edit, so combine designs, make big, make small, rotate, things like that, you just buy the editing portion of Toolbox. Are you a monogrammer and all you need software for is monogram? That's the only thing you use it for. You can buy the monogramming portion of Toolbox. Okay. All it does is give you monogramming fonts, monogramming frames, ornaments, things along that lines. Then there are 2 lettering modules of Toolbox. There's lettering and lettering basic. And the biggest difference between them is going to be the number of fonts that you get. Regular lettering is $249. It's going to come with 20 fonts and a couple of other things. Regular lettering is $349. Comes with 100 fonts, baseline styles, all sorts of stuff. And so, or you can buy all 4 bundles pretty much and have everything available with Toolbox. So if you download the 30-day free trial, you get full version Toolbox. So you have access for 30 days to use all of those different segments of Toolbox. And the same with the 30-day trial of version 8. You're going to get pretty much access to everything that's there. Version 8, the big software, digitizes. So it allows you to draw artwork and convert it to embroidery designs. Toolbox does not have any digitizing. Yes, external hard drives are perfect for storing designs. So, for example, here's mine. This is my external hard drive, okay? This is what it has a cord, it plugs in, it's like a big giant USB stick. It's like 1 terabyte, it's giant. My life is on this, to be honest. This hard drive is also backed up someplace else. I am backed up. My backups are backed up. That it would be, so I also use, if you're on a current version of Windows, you can use OneDrive. And OneDrive also backs things up, and you can choose the folders that you just want to back up, or you can back up your whole file hard drive. That's there. You can also use Google Drive, Dropbox. There's all sorts of them nowadays that you can use for, but I have an external hard drive. It's what I started with before cloud-based hard drive backups were available. I prefer the big external hard drives versus using a bunch of small USB sticks, because these are all USB sticks. I can't see what a USB stick is. This one has three USB sticks in it, and I have not a clue what's on any of these sticks. So the external hard drive just allows me to plug in one thing, and then I can search for whatever I need in one place, versus popping in and out 100 USB sticks. Toolbox does not have anything different than version 8. Version 8 has more than Toolbox. Okay. There are a few different fonts and things that are in Toolbox that are not in version 8, but in terms of the basic function that you can do, Toolbox version 8 has everything Toolbox has. Okay, that's there. Well, I appreciate those of you that have hung in there with me this morning, that I have talked for 55 minutes on how to download and transfer designs. I can get on tangents, but I want you guys to all be successful at that. The biggest thing is knowing what format your machine can read. And if you are a Bernina owner here with me, EXP is your format, okay? Whether it is all 3 files of EXP Plus or regular EXP, if you get an EXP to your USB stick, your machine will read it, okay? Provided that your machine reads the USB stick in general, okay? So we got to make sure that it's not the USB stick that is not functioning, but we just need to make sure that we have a USB that works on the machine. Get your EXP and you will be good to go. Okay. Well, thank you, everybody. I hope that you have a great weekend. I don't think it wasn't raining when I came in the door at 7 o'clock this morning, so I don't know what it's calling for. I'm going to be in my studio cave here today, all day today. So I have no windows. So I hope you enjoy the weather. And otherwise, I will see my class students that are here right now. I will see you in 30 minutes for class. And otherwise, I'll see everybody next week. I will post the topic. I haven't decided what we're going to talk about yet. It will be sewing technique related. I just don't know what it will be. So thank you, everybody. Have a great rest of your weekend. Bye.